Alright, so another little project that we're working on our adventure to swapping everything over to 48 volts. See, now I've got this turbine set up where it works awesome for 24 volt. Does not work great for 48. Does not actually make any power at all. It's like right now it'd be able to be making a little bit of power if it were still 48 volt. I mean, if it was still on a 24 volt system, but the way it is, nope. So we are gonna bring it down and do some editing. Okay, so that was an adventure. In the end, I had to bring it down because I could not get the rotor off in the air. And it was silly of me to have even thought that I could try that. So this thing has been up in the air for a while. And I get a lot of questions about this, these stators being out open to the elements. And in my particular area, I mean, clearly we got some dust building up on the magnets. But, I mean, it gets dirty. That's about it. The coils themselves, they still look nice. I was thinking about, coming and covering it with lacquer or paint or something. I don't think I'm going to do that. The only thing that I'm seeing is, and this is expected because it's mild still, and that's the cores are kind of discoloring a little bit, but that's not going to hurt anything. So we're going to pull this off and set it up for 48 volts. Okay, so whenever I did this to begin with, these are our first three coils. I did this in six sets of six coils, which was supposed to be fairly decent for a it could work for 12 volt RPM or stator, or a really good 24 volt. Does not work very good for 48. We got our first three coils here, so I went to these three and then cut these loose, and this is where our first set started, and then I just repeated from here, and then these three, and then these three, all the way around. So what we're going to do now is 3 sets of 12, basically doubling the voltage per revolution, but cutting the amperage in half. On paper, it sounds like a decent way to go about it. So we're going to give that a shot. Okay, so I've got this set up, and like I said previously, 3 sets of 12 coils. And I am a little worried about it because it cogs, and didn't cog before, or I mean it did a little, but not much. It doesn't, I want to say that it shouldn't cog at all, but I mean I'm basing that off of this motor, which does not cog at all, and that's in the factory arrangement. And while my my dual stator setup here, it's got a little cog to it, nowhere near as much, but it makes over 100 volts at about 1100 RPM, and it does turn fairly smoothly, and all 3 of the leads ohm out exactly the same. So we're gonna put it in the air and see what happens. All right, it's up, so we take the brakes off, see what happens. It's super windy right now, of course, because of course it's not. But, oh well. It's up there. We'll be watching it for a little bit. If I get a little burst of wind, then I will come and try to get it on camera. supposed to be all manner of windy tomorrow. Maybe we'll get a good video of it then. Meantime, thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day. Okay, well, I just thought I was done. It took a little bit of wind to actually get the thing going. Once it started going, the thing is running pretty well. I don't think it's running quite as good, and it's causing some other problems with the rest of my system. Like right now, it's spooling up pretty good. It's making, 350. I've seen it hit 500 watts. Previously, it was making a lot more wattage. I don't know. I'm not quite as happy with it at 48 volts, or not in the arrangement that I've got. 3 sets of 12. I might go back and swap that stator out for this one and do 4 sets of 9. See how well that works. Because, yeah, I don't think it's quite working quite as well as what I'd like. The other stuff seems to be doing good, but yeah, we'll play with it a little bit more, and we'll see what it does over the course of the night. We'll go ahead and reset it. We'll see what it looks like in the morning. All right, that's that for now. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful evening.